Hello YouTube, I'm David Frankel.
And I'm Duncan Freeberg.
And we're here at Bury Bolton Street. Today we are once again taking a tour of the East Lancashire Railway. The East Lancashire Railway runs from Heywood to Rawtenstall via Bury Bolton Street, Burrs Country Park, Somerset, Ramsbottom and Irwell Vale. Heywood, Bury Bolton Street, Ramsbottom and Rawtenstall were all original railway stations, whilst Burrs Country Park, Somerset and Irwell Vale were purpose-built for the Heritage Railway. East of Heywood, the Heritage Line connects with the National Rail network at a Delta junction just south of Castleton. The Heritage Line also connects with the Metrolink at Bury. There are also a number of disused stations along the route. From Haywood, these are Broadfield, Bury Knowsley Street, Stubbins and Ewood Bridge in Edenfield. The Heritage Line runs along two different former railway lines. North of Bury Bolton Street, there is the former route from Bury to Accrington, which had branch lines from Bury to Holcombe Brook and from Stubbins to Bacup. Bacup was also served by a branch from Rochdale. The other line is the east-west Liverpool to Bury line, which had its own station in Bury at Knowsley Street. The two lines were connected through a series of curves and junctions. All the lines north of Bury, as well as the Liverpool-Bury line, were axed under the Beeching Axe, leaving only the line from Manchester to Bury Bolton Street. In 1980, Bolton Street closed and British rail services were redirected to a newly built station at Bury Interchange, which became part of the Metrolink in 1992. The East Lancashire Heritage Railway first opened in 1987 from Bury Bolton Street to Ramsbottom, extending north past Stubbins to Rawtenstall along the branch to Bacup in 1991. In 2003, the line was extended south and east along the Liverpool-Bury line through Knowsley Street, which wasn't reopened, to Haywood. A new bridge had to be built to cross the Metrolink line, known as the Ski Jump. The track beyond to Castleton is in poor but usable condition and is often used to bring guest trains to and from the railway, such as the Flying Scotsman in 2016. Plans exist to extend the service east to Castleton to improve connectivity and access to the railway, which would require the construction of a new platform at Castleton. Extension north to Bacup via Waterfoot, however, is relatively unlikely as most of the route north of Rawtenstall has been lost. Other possible extensions would be up the Holcombe Brook line or north of Stubbins towards Accrington, though there are no specific plans to do either. Choo choo. Fancy. And there's the shop cars, which we might maybe have a look at on our way back. So the line of course runs from Heywood to Rawtenstall. We're at Bury Bolton Street. So we are going from Bury to Heywood, then Heywood up to Rawtenstall, and then Rawtenstall back to Bury for a full round trip. Choo choo. There's a curvature there, it's in front of the train.
Go going at a fast 125 miles per hour.
And there is, of course, the junction. Down to the tram. Here is the other end of that junction, viewed from a tram heading towards Bury. Over here you can see, or you're about to see, the remains of the junction up to Bolton. You can see the kind of arch of the bridge there. It's now covered in dirt. The track would once continue here to Bolton. And in a moment we will pass over the Metro line in a bridge that was constructed for the Heritage Railway, because when this was a railway line, what's now the north end of the Bury line didn't exist. The bridge had to be specially constructed for the Heritage line, and it's been nicknamed the ski jump for some reason. So here we are at Haywood, which is the eastern terminus of the line, except you might notice perceptively that the line continues. Wait, that's where we came from. In the other direction, you might be perceptive enough to notice that the line does indeed continue. Shut up. Onwards to the Delta Junction at Castleton, where it links up with the National Rail network, and the track is actually usable, and any guest trains that come onto the East Lancashire Railway do regularly use that bit of track coming via the National Rail network, such as the Flying Scotsman a couple of years ago. But they can't run trains all the way to Castleton because they don't have a dedicated platform. Now, what I thought could be a possible short-term solution is, as per Corfe Castle and Oakhampton, both there are heritage railways in the southwest of England, where National Rail trains run off the Network Rail network and on to heritage railways to serve heritage railway stations. So you could do something similar here and have a northern service come in to Bury Bolton Street. The only problem is it would always be on strike. So here at the other end of Haywood Station, the correct end, you can see where the line continues onwards to Castleton. Now on board the normal kind of open carriages. We've got these rather tacky Halloween decorations. Not really a fan of those. On the approach to Bury, we can see the junction off towards Bolton on the left, former junction. We are also, by the way, somewhere around here is the site of Knowsley Street Station, although it's pretty much impossible to tell. Right in here, there's absolutely no trace of it left. What a shame. Join the little junction from the metro. The back end of the Bury Transport Museum, which belongs to the ELR. We're going to go have a look at that once we're done. On the heritage train, should I say, because this is not a steam train, this is a diesel train. Anyway, the Holcombe Brook line. Somewhere vaguely around. 10 times, because we're basically going parallel to the average course of the river, but the river goes like that. And this is Burrs Country Park. Last time I came on this train, this station did not exist. Serving this caravan park here and the surrounding area. Quite new looking. Well, look, we've crossed the Irwell again. So that I just caught there was the remains of Stubbins, one of two stations that were originally stations along the line but were not reopened as stations on the Heritage Railway. There's another one somewhere near Irwell Vale. I'll have to quickly look it up. There's also a junction coming up in a bit on the left where the line used to continue on to Accrington, connecting to the current Preston to Leeds line. I think that's it over there, that bridge. Viaduct, in fact. Oh look, there's the River Irwell. called Heywood Bridge in Edenfield. I think it's around about here. Brand new episode of Duncan versus Slam Doors.
I can use them. You can't.
Now here's a bit of a conundrum, because the line did want to continue on from Rawtenstall, but there seems to be this not so new looking building in the way. Maybe there were some through platforms, maybe on the right or on the left, that there aren't any trace of now, and perhaps these were bay platforms. I'm not sure. Perhaps I should ask someone. So whilst I was trying to figure out the mystery of the station building, Duncan went to go buy some refreshments, and he discovered the local craft beer, one of the two. What was it called?
Beer. Piston broke.
That's a good pun. Doesn't really make you want to drink it though. Duncan, do you know what river that is?
The Mersey?
No, it's not the Mersey.
What about?
And here are the remains of Stubbins. Here we are back at Burs, the newest station on the railway. And here we are, back where we started, Bury Bolton Street. Now watch Duncan show us just how to use a slam door. True expertise. So there we go, that was a full round trip on the East Lancashire Railway. We're now back where we started, at Bury Bolton Street.
I don't understand.
Maybe it's not strong enough yet. Maybe it's one of their new ones and it's still not strong yet. I know.
Or maybe it's there in case it breaks down.
Yeah. I'm guessing the Flying Scotsman probably won't need that.
Wait and see.
This the diner. This is.
My other question is, how does the EWS get here? The locomotive's facing backwards.
Buffet cart.
It's got a buffet cart.
Come on, quickly. Move, train.
Chill out.
I don't care about you, I care about the Flying Scotsman.
It's not coming for another 8 minutes. And it's moving. A lot of steam and smoke. Very noisy. There it is, the Flying Scotsman. With its escort, the Lancashire Fusiliers. How is it? One of those famous steam locomotives in the world. Here for a very short time. in East Lancashire, on the East Lancashire Railway. After this, it's set to go run charter services. Now, while we are here, we are also going to get a different train up to Rawtenstall, a non-Flying Scotsman, just a regular train up to Rawtenstall. And yeah, should be fun.
There
Off it goes.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. 45. Oh no, because it's probably going to wait here for a while. Jesus Christ. Bloody hell, that scared the crap out. It's made the kids cry now. Bloody hell, that was loud. Gave me a bit of a shock.
Oh, you can't do that.
Train to arrive at platform number 2 with the 1600 steam service, calling at Heywood and Rawtenstall.
Are you sure we don't get off at Rawtenstall and then get on the other one?
No, it goes back.
But does it definitely, because it's soon at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's the same train, it does a return trip.
Duncan just wants to get on the buffet car. Duncan, I think the buffet car is going to be further down.